We have 5 days to complete a bucket list hike that most people do in 10. We have 3 months to train for it. Let's see if we can pull it off.
Oregon's gonna catch a cow.
It's legit snowing right now and it's August.
Like you, we feel like there's never enough time to do our bucket list hikes. By training ourselves to hike and fast pack through 5 increasingly difficult stages, we set out to conquer ours, the Uinta Highline Trail. So while the training, well, instead of doing the standard 10 days on this trail, we're gonna crank it out in 5. That's over 104 miles, thousands and thousands of feet of elevation climbed each and every day, while averaging over the whole course of the trail over 10,700 feet in elevation. In stage 1, we found our baselines on the local C Trail. To learn more about our team or that stage, click the link and go check out that video. This week, it's all about stamina. We fast packed a local trail that's about 5 miles long, 1,000 feet in elevation, and we did it 3 days in a row. Not only that, but you had to complete it in under an hour and 7 minutes, which is about a 4-mile-an-hour pace. There wasn't margin for error in our Uinta Highline pacing, so if a team member could not complete stage 2 in the timeline, they were eliminated from going on to stage 3. To make things even worse, we added weight to our packs every single day to simulate real life scenario of fatigue, getting up and doing this day after day. So day 1 was 5 pounds, day 2 was 10 pounds, and day 3 was 15 pounds. With limited time to train throughout the summer, this was a significant challenge for us at this point. Plus, every single one of us had something go wrong that we had to work through, whether it was foot pain, back pain, or other injuries. Completing this stage in these conditions was not guaranteed. So who made the cut? You're gonna have to find out. This is the Hardline Challenge.
I'm sitting at 6 pounds, 12 ounces. I may lighten a little bit. So that's water weight. So by the time I drink that, I might be right at 5 pounds.
It is a Monday morning. I'm feeling pretty energetic, no sore muscles, just feeling great, ready for a run.
I've just been trying to do about 5-mile hikes a day, sticking to my normal weight training schedule.
I've got a pre-existing back condition from injury in the military. I did something last weekend that put my back into a back muscle spasm, and I'm just feeling to where I might be able to do the run today. I wanted to start doing it on Monday, but Monday was about the max pain.
Today's the 4th of July, so it's America's birthday. It's gonna be a good day to run.
Lightning Switch is literally across the street from our office.
It's up in the Red Rocks. It's like a 4-mile loop that has quite a bit of elevation in it. We all like that area, so we thought that would be a good test of stamina to just see if we can do it in less than an hour for 3 days in a row.
Here we go.
Lightning Switch, I thought was gonna be my bread and butter.
I think today's gonna be problems for me. Just like I can't get any oxygen in. I was barely starting to run and I could feel it. Not my day.
It's basically straight up a mountain on a lot of switchbacks. So you can tell by the name Lightning Switch, you're just going back and forth up this steep, steep hill.
I've been cutting on a diet pretty hard. Yesterday I had basically 0 carbs, and then I've been a little sick, so pretty much gassed at this point.
My pace is averaging about 4 miles an hour on the way up. I forgot my trekking pole, so that'll be fun on the downhill.
Okay, just made it to the top of Lightning Switch, about to head back down on a loop trail. I've been running 35 minutes since the trailhead. Excited for the down.
So I made it to the Y at 35 minutes. My heart rates are out 165. Feeling pretty good.
All right, there's the top of the trail. 40 minutes, 54 seconds. Not doing good. Typically coming up that trail, I'm able to keep my heart rate at about 100. This time, I was averaging about 140. Definitely feeling it. Thought I was gonna throw up in that first mile.
Look at that. Super green, super beautiful.
For Brennan, we basically had him find a more local trail to him. He's about 3.5 hours north of us, so he found a more local trail to do the same thing.
At the top, halfway through, there's this T where you tee into another trail, you can come down, and it's almost just as steep running down. So the challenge going down on this trail was not so much the steepness and how much that put you out of breath, but really trying not to injure your knees as you would navigate among boulders and rocks in the trail.
Made up a lot of time here. Feeling a lot better, but still not 100%. definitely picked up the time on the end.
Everyone kind of treated this again as a race. We saw each other's times.
Hey, how long did you take? Have you done your first run yet?
My pace on the whole run overall is on average 11 minutes and 18 seconds per mile.
And I set a first record on my first run and was pretty happy about that. I did still have some problems though.
I think there's a nerve that's being pinched on top of my foot. So maybe tomorrow I'll try a different pair of shoes.
The total time was 55:11. I'm pretty happy with that, considering I ended up putting my trekking poles in my backpack on the way down, and one of them kind of flew out the top, so I had to go back and get it.
I don't know if I could run it faster. I definitely didn't push myself. Every once in a while, kind of without notice or knowing why, something I do will give me a back muscle spasm. My back muscle is like restricting my gait quite a bit, so my left hip flexor is going to be really sore tomorrow because I can't really drive off my right leg because that's where the muscle spasm is. The spasm occurs to protect some nerve damage or spinal cord something, so the muscles lock up. You can barely move your body, like you can't bend down, you can't reach for things, and so luckily it loosened up enough to be able to do the runs.
So I just got finished with the first time through. I'm gonna turn around and do it again. I kind of procrastinated with the second stage of lightning switch. We were getting actually pretty close to the third stage. After that first run, I went to my pack and I added another 5 pounds, so I'm at 10 pounds. And then I took off immediately after again to go do the second time. I'm already a little bit tired, so that's gonna have an effect.
My pack weighs 10 pounds, 5 pounds heavier than yesterday. I had a lot more carbs yesterday, so hopefully that means I can beat my time today.
Today's gonna go well. It's gonna be a nice run.
I'm pleasantly surprised that I wasn't as sore as I thought I might be.
One of the things that I like about Lightning Switch is it takes you from a desert feeling area up into these bigger canyons, and the higher you go, the more you get into the trees with the junipers, which is what was called cedar trees when Cedar City was made, but it's not actually cedar trees. But as you go up, it gets rockier and steeper.
I'm feeling fine, but my foot is still hurting a little.
There's 2 ways to do the trail. You can do the loop starting heading to the south, or you can do it starting heading to the north, which is where everyone went but me. The way that I did it, it's just like a constant grade the entire way to the top, but then it's a pretty easy run downhill. I liked it better that way. Our times were pretty similar.
All right, top of day 2. 39:53.
34 and a half minutes.
37 minutes.
About 40 minutes exact.
29 minutes to the top. Gonna eat a Rice Krispie treat and then get going. Definitely feeling it a little more up top than yesterday.
Heart rate's been around 125 to 130, so lower than yesterday, but my muscles are more tired than yesterday, so I don't know if I'll beat yesterday's time. I'm ahead of it now.
Fortunately for me, I had lost about 15 pounds by that point, so really I was running weightless compared to these other guys. So the problem was we also had other trips going on. So in that sense, I wasn't as ready. It wasn't like I was like grooming my body to start it and to go through each day. I felt like a little bit behind and basically had 3 days where it had to be done during those 3 days. Felt like I didn't show up the way that I wanted to.
59:04. I think that's about a minute and a half faster than yesterday. I could breathe a little bit better today, but my legs are more tired.
Today I loosened up my laces quite a bit more on my shoes. That actually helped quite a bit. I didn't really have my feet falling asleep until I was almost at the top, about to head back down.
The wind is nice. It's nice when there's a little breeze. I don't know if I actually ran any faster yesterday. I got a little mixed up on the route. I took I would guess about 60 seconds to kind of walk ahead where I thought I was at the fork, but I wasn't at the fork yet.
My pack's 5 pounds heavier and I was able to go a little bit faster. My average heart rate was a little bit higher.
5 beats per minute less than yesterday.
5.5 minutes slower than that first time when I added 5 pounds, just doing it one after the other. I was a lot more tired at the end of it, and my time was slower. Then the following day I ran again with the sole goal of beating my first my first time.
All right, here we go, day 3. I've got a 15+ pound pack on my back. Definitely feels heavy in the hand, a little bit heavy on the back. I don't think I'm gonna break any records today. Just hit the top of the trail at 40 minutes, 40 seconds.
We were doing things a little backwards in that we were adding weight each day, which that doesn't really happen when you're consuming the food and the fuel in your pack. I think maybe the purpose of that was to put an extra physical challenge on there, and if you can, if we could manage that pretty well, then it was a good representation of our fitness.
34 minutes and 45 seconds.
Just past the split, my time was 37:50.
I'm at 28 minutes.
33 minutes and 20 seconds.
Definitely do notice the weight in the pack today a lot more than the other days.
Heart rate has been pretty low because I have been slowing down. You can tell my legs are tired, and then it just hit me.
This pack, there's a noticeable difference in how heavy it feels.
I'm probably giving 10 to 15% more effort today. So day 3 was Independence Day, 4th of July. As I was running the last 200 yards, I could see this other couple coming kind of from another direction. We chatted for a while. Turns out this guy, I think his name was Grant. His wife's name, I think, was Brianne. There was also this question of like, hey, what are you doing out here? And there's nobody out here. It's like 4th of July. They had gone to an organized trail run for Independence Day and nobody showed up. So he was asking me, he's like, well, you've got that fast pack on. Are you like training for something? And obviously we started talking about backpacking, and he mentioned that he'd done like all the through hikes, like the PCT 3 times, the CDT 3 times, the Appalachian Trail 3 times, the California Trail. He's done like over 30,000 miles of through hikes. Pretty cool guy, man. It's really fun talking to him, chatting with him. He's getting into running and his wife's a runner, so pretty cool meeting them.
My time was 1 hour and 2 minutes and 30 seconds.
48 minutes and 11 seconds.
My time was 55:38.
47 minutes, 6 seconds. So that was my quickest time.
Just under 50 minutes.
58 minutes and 10 seconds.
I actually beat yesterday's overall time.
I know that Derek had been training for like a half marathon, and I feel like that might be more beneficial for longer fast packs. You don't want to go run a marathon if the most you ever do in a day is 6 miles. Derek did really well because of that training.
Again, I was having issues with my left foot. By the end of day 3, I was starting to figure out that it probably was something with how I was tying my shoes. It was not that I had the wrong shoes, and it wasn't necessarily a problem with my pace or my gait and how my foot hit the ground. But I started to notice a difference when I would loosen up my laces or tighten them up.
The thing that was causing my only issue, which was pain in my heel and ankle, was me over tightening my shoes. So I just ran with my shoes more loose and the pain went away. Some of the things I was worried about in trail running weren't as big of a deal as I thought. I was really worried about my running gait and trying to get like form really dialed. I was better all around today than yesterday and the first day.
And the back held up pretty well. Might have been a little bit more tight today with the extra weight on the downhill for sure, but I got done a while ago.
My fastest run out of all of them, definitely the heaviest pack. Felt a little dehydrated on the way up. Definitely need to hydrate tonight. Tayson, just a little shout out to you for converting me to trekking poles. For those of you that haven't switched, you should do it. Especially, this is a little pro tip. I don't know if anybody else struggles with this, but when I hike, I tend to get swollen hands, and having the trekking poles out in front of me definitely stops that.
I could have avoided it had I just paced myself and been more careful. And at the very last 50 yards, I decided to sprint it. Twisted my ankle pretty good on the way back down, so that didn't help at all. Yeah, that was just the competitive side of me that did something dumb right at the end.
About 2 minutes slower than day 1 and about 3.5 minutes slower than yesterday.
I was still a little bit bummed with my performance on the lightning switch stage 2 element. Had one day where I just felt like I could not breathe, and then the next day I was adding 5 more pounds, and so I had run that trail a lot and I had run it faster than all of those before, and so it just did not seem to be my day, and then kind of compounded where something was going on for me.
It's gonna be freaking hard to do that Skyline fast pack. Doing 26 miles per day, trying to average 4 miles an hour is going to be rough. All right, so this stage has been absolutely the best stage to shed light on reality. It's just giving me extra motivation to keep up my fitness.
I think you can really see it, but this is all super glue.